Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
It's Sunday.
We're super late.
Super late, but it's all right.
My fault. Well, yours and mine because I wanted to do it early. Saturday, we were planning on it, and I got sick.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, but we don't skip.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's episode 170, and we're back. Another episode full of Disney adventures, Disney news, new giveaway.
New giveaway. I just posted it as of this recording.
So we have, like I said, we're going to do another Halloween one, but this one's going to be very short.
Yes.
Only 2 weeks as of this airing of this episode. Kind of. So it'll be ending on October 22nd, Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you guys are going to have to get your entries in, and you're going to only have 2 episodes to listen to, right? So where we'll be giving the question. Mm-hmm. So the question is, and it's a recycled question. It's a recycled question that we've used before, and we have a lot of stuff that we have when we solicited different, questions from the listeners that we could use. But when it comes to holidays, it's kind of like I want to keep them holiday specific. Mm-hmm. So yes, the question is, who is your favorite Disney villain? I know we've used it at least once, maybe twice, but I think it corresponds well with the giveaway. Mm-hmm. So the giveaway is...
It is
a
Loungefly Nightmare Before Christmas wallet.
Full-size wallet.
Full size. So I have that in the thing. I have in the post, you could see the inside where you can keep a lot of cards, coins, cash. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing is the Maleficent collectible fig pin.
Yeah.
And you have a story of what fig pin is.
Oh, fig pins are cool. And a lot of people don't know they're big pins because it's probably like 2 to 3 inches in height. Mm-hmm. And the story is that there was this guy who, he liked collecting pins, but when he took them home, he basically just ended up putting them in his office drawer.
Yeah.
Because
throw them somewhere.
Because there's really no way to display them. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is. I mean, you could buy a box. You can there's a lot of board. You could display them. But he just wanted to, display them, as they are.
Yeah, he didn't want to bother with putting them on boards. Cause for us, we just throw them, too. It's wherever, too, when we don't have time to,
So he created a pin, a very nice-looking pin that's a figurine. That's why it's called Fig and Pin.
Oh.
So it's a figurine / pin. So it still has these 3 big spikes in the back that if you want to pin it against something, you can.
You can.
But it also comes with a little stand, so you can just stand it up.
Yeah.
So if you want to stand it on your desk, you want to stand it on
you don't
bookshelf.
have to try to pin it.
Yeah. So it's a figurine / pin, which is called Fig Pin.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then they were going to do a lot of other projects, but then they started getting licenses for Disney and other IPs, and they were like, you know what, let's just do this. And they just taken off. And so, yes, we're giving away a Maleficent Fig Pin, and they're all, I think, limited editions because they're all numbered, kind of like Funko Pop. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it could go up in value. Who knows?
And the third thing that I think is pretty cool, so I might keep one for myself because we bought multiple, or you bought multiple, is the Poison Apple scented candle. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was a mug.
Yeah.
But it's actually just a candle holder, like a candle with.
It's a ceramic candle casing. With a lid. Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. So, you can see all this. The reel is up on Instagram and Facebook.
The poison apple from Snow White. Mm-hmm. But it's apple scented.
Yes.
So they were all the rage when they first came out, too. And so now.
I remember. Mm-hmm. And now it's like.
Yeah, they're available, but I like deals, so I got 3.
Yeah, I'm going to keep one for myself.
So, yeah. So all 3 of those things are our October giveaway. And all you have to do is answer the question again. Who is your favorite Disney villain or least favorite Disney villain? I'll go there too. And then you can send us that answer to Facebook or Instagram via direct message, or info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. Or if we do a blog post, you can comment on the blog post. For each type of media you use, medium, you will get a different entry, additional
Multiple.
entry, multiple entries, right?
Yep.
So you can get up to 4.
Yep.
All right. So must be 18 years or older, live in the United States. And again, this particular giveaway ends on October 22nd. That's a Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the reason we're not doing it till the last Saturday is because during our holiday giveaways, we want you to get it before the actual holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So if we send it out, we'll do the drawing on the 23rd.
This time I have to send it out immediately.
Yeah. So if we send it out like that Monday, you'll still get it before Halloween.
Yeah.
So, all righty.
Okay, so should we talk about the Disney Day with the Alexes?
Yeah, Alex Squared.
Alex Squared. So we went to Disney with our cousins, Alex Girl and Alex Boy.
Mm-hmm.
They're married.
Alexandra and
Alexander.
Yeah.
Or Alex just goes by Alex. Boy Alex just goes by Alex.
Is his name Alexander? I didn't
Yeah.
know. Oh, I don't know. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So she's never been at all. And he hasn't been since he was a kid. And he grew up in Anaheim. But usually when you grow up in Anaheim, you don't go to Disney. Like, I never went until I left Anaheim. Anyways, so it was like first time for them for everything. And it was cool taking them around. We did Genie Plus, went on all the, big rides. And so, yeah, it was cool. They were pretty impressed. But here's the thing. The last minute, I had no idea, but before we left, I was like, do you want a Dole Whip? And they were like, a what? They didn't know what Dole Whip was, and they didn't know it's a Disney thing. So I bought them a Dole Whip float, and they were like, whoa, this is so good.
Not
And
Dole
then-
Whip Float the person.
Yes, the actual Dole Whip float.
We haven't perfected cloning yet.
And
We will.
and they tried it. They were like, "Whoa, this is so good!" And I also had no idea because when we went when we were kids with my aunt, all we did was eat at Plaza Inn because that was a good thing to do when you have a bunch of kids. Like it was just her and maybe 7, 8 kids, and she would just get maybe a few plates of Plaza Inn chicken, and each kid got a piece of chicken, and she divided it up. So that's that's the only food we knew if we just went as a kid. So he didn't know about Dole Whip float. He's not going to take us kids to go eat ice cream, And I'm like, dude, you grew up in Anaheim. You went to Loera High School down the street. He's like, I didn't know about this. What is this Dole Whip thing?
It was so funny. And then it's because they're very I would consider them high achievers.
Yeah.
They're both high up in
They're worldly travelers.
World travelers. Both
World
have
travelers.
high up in corporate. He's a guy who used to work for Google. They're very knowledgeable about things, and so he pulled me aside. Is like, Brian, how long have you been going here, and when was the first time you heard about Dole Whip? I'm just like, what? He was concerned that he didn't know. He was testing me.
Walt was here. Just kidding.
And I'm just like, yeah, I've been getting them. Tracy's been going here since 2013. He's like, did you hear about it before then? Did you?
Yeah.
He was like, it's almost like he missed a question on a test.
Yeah.
And he was trying to see,
like, dude,
is this normal?
This is Walt's original thing, right? It's attached to the tiki room.
It's
He probably
so
didn't even know
funny.
what the tiki room was, but
No, it was funny. But
yeah.
It was really it's a different type of experience taking people there who haven't been there or haven't been there in a long, long time because the tour guide experience is kind of everything's new. Mm-hmm. Like I purchased Rise of Resistance because I wanted to make sure they got on that ride.
Yeah.
And it breaks down so much. I didn't want to risk a standby type situation. And because it'll blow you away. Like get on the ride, it's like whoa. And they were surprised at how many rides we got to go on. Like,
Yeah.
I was only thinking we were going to get on like 3 or something. I was like, no. If you have a pattern, you do Genie Plus, you'll get on a lot. But we only stayed in one park. So.
Yes. When we stay in one park, they'll try to come back with us to go to just DCA. And we said maybe come back during the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah.
Or the Festival of Holidays. And we didn't get to take Alex on Alice in Wonderland. That's one of her favorite Disney movies. So, but the ride was like 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to take her on that. And I did make them pilot on Millennium Falcon. That got her sick. So good thing it was the evening. And after that, she was like, okay, I'm nauseous now. No more rides for a while.
Yeah, a lot of people, that affects them.
Yeah, I get sick when I'm a pilot.
See, I guess it's because I grew up with so many video games. Like, that stuff is just, maybe that's what the difference is.
Yeah, for me, it's like that Oculus. That's the feeling afterwards. It's like, whoa, I feel really nauseous.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do that. It's like, ugh. Some people even throw up afterwards.
Yeah.
On certain rides.
Yeah.
But I wanted them to pilot. So
yeah, me too. I'm like, let's go on this. Let's go. So we didn't get to go on Thunder Mountain. It broke down in the evening or afternoon. So, but I think they had fun. They had a good experience.
We went on the Haunted Mansion with the Nightmare Before Christmas theme.
Oh, yeah. That was Boy Alex's favorite.
First thing was I said I wanted to do the classic. So we had to, and it doesn't have Genie Plus. So we went on Pirates first. Winnie the Pooh, because I wanted to show him, hey, you even between the big rides, you can still slip in these little ones, and that was cool. Star Tours, Space Mountain, Matterhorn was closed down. That was a disappointment. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think we did any Fantasyland stuff except for It's a Small World.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then of course Indiana Jones.
Oh yes.
So. Yeah, we did a fairly good amount. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting.
Yeah, we did
stuff.
Space Mountain, Star Tours, all that.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear
at the end of the night. Yeah, that's fun. But yeah, I think they had a good time. So hopefully they'll come back with us to go to DCA.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I had a mishap today. I'm being accused of being too old.
Yes, your old man brain.
I know this has really nothing to do with Disney, other than it involves another set of Disney cousins. But so I get this text, and it was like, "Hey, UFC 280, you want to come over and watch it?" And it's like, Kevin. I'm just like, yeah, because I was going to be up in Orange County, and I was just like, I hate driving back on Saturday because for some reason everyone comes to San Diego on Saturdays. Everyone over the entire freaking state.
Yeah, they go to the beach.
Yeah.
But it's like there's beaches.
No, even people who from beach cities come to San Diego.
It's like, why are you coming
stay
here?
out of my county. So if I'm outside of San Diego, it's hard to get back in.
Yeah, we do live in a touristy city. So
like an hour drive turns into like a 2 or 3 hour drive sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you get all these people from LA. Because no one really likes living in LA. They really want to be in San Diego. But anyway, so yeah, the UFCs will be on a Saturday. We were going to go to Disney on a Friday, and I was just like, yeah, I'll stay in Orange County and
wait out traffic while you watch.
And I had already talked to Tony and asked him if he was going to get the fights, and then but he's going to a niece's birthday party, so he can't. And then I get this text from Kevin, and they're like, oh, so I thought maybe he told him, hey, take care of Brian, He needs to go to a fight, and he's feeling bad, and then they felt bad for me, and I'm just like, okay, but
then you're all, thanks, cousin.
Yeah, and I was like, that's cool, I come to your house, and they're like, yeah, come to my house, and I'm just like, all right,
And then he said, thanks, cousin.
No, I said, thanks, cousin, looking forward to hanging out with you, and then it's like, yeah, no problem, and then it was like, you do know this is Kevin from next door.
I didn't want you to show up at some other Kevin's house because Kevin from next door is not our cousin. He's our neighbor.
And I was like, ooh.
Well, I'll still come over.
Well, the thing is that it's easier because now I can just push Disney to the next week.
Yeah, so we canceled Disney for the 21st, and we're going to go on the 28th
so I can avoid that stupid
instead.
Saturday comeback.
Yeah.
And now I can just get up and, because it's an early UFC, because it's in the United Arab Emirates, so it starts at like 9 or something, and then I could just go across the way, and then it's pretty cool. And then but of course I had to share it with Kevin and Christina, so I showed them a screen capture of the text message.
I was like surprised when you're like, hey, Kevin, our cousin Kevin said blah, blah, UFC. And I'm like, what? He doesn't even watch. He doesn't even follow that stuff. Why would he buy the UFC? But whatever. Maybe I don't know him.
Yeah.
Because I know Kevin's into basketball and stuff, but not UFC. So I was like, what? That's weird.
It was kind of funny because I'm part of, with my company, I was kind of placed in charge of the high potential people nationwide book club, for them. So, which is kind of not really my thing. I never had a book club, podcast club, whatever, but it's fun. And so we have like monthly things. We just had our second session this past week. And one of the things I was telling them about, as far as a leadership perspective, we were talking about messaging, because we took that from one of the books, and it was a situation where I was telling them about, I was getting compliments about being self-assured and being able to give answers and then being direct. And I was getting complimented by an operations person like the week before on that. And it's not that, and it's kind of I don't want to say it's a secret, it's a hack. The secret to being confident and giving answers and being self-assured is not so much that you know everything or that you've mastered a particular field or subject. It's humility. If you understand that if you make a mistake and you have no qualms about being, I made a mistake, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That's wrong. You're going to sound self-assured.
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest fear of self-assurance is like, I'm going to say something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of saying anything wrong. It doesn't matter my title. It doesn't matter anything. And the reason I'm tying it to the whole text messaging thing is because people are like, well could I send it to Kevin and Christina? You have to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
And then Coach Kevin said, oh, no, it's an age thing. It's funny. But if you can't laugh at yourself, you're always going to be susceptible. Think of humility as a vaccination against imposter syndrome. Seriously.
Yeah.
If you can laugh at yourself, imposter syndrome chances go way down. Chance of infection goes way down.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to say, hey, I am going to make mistakes in the future. I am going to have to apologize for something in the future.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to know the answer to everything in the future.
Right.
And if you just accept that now, then you're going to look like a world leader.
Better to just, I usually, when I make a mistake, I do make fun of myself.
Yeah. It's like fun. If you can laugh at yourself, it's funny. And it makes you a better leader. Leaders aren't the people who know everything and get everything right. Leaders are the people who make, who are comfortable with themselves and then make other people comfortable in their presence.
Yep.
And so they can be comfortable with themselves. And because what they say, great leaders or good leaders, their main task is to make other good leaders. It's not to get other people to follow them.
You make yourself relatable to your team.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, I made a mistake too. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. It's not about power and dominance. You don't want to be Sauron. So that's just a little HR tip for the day. But yes, like a 16-year-old girl, maybe that's an age thing. Maybe I'm just too immature. I can make text mistakes. So.
I was like, don't you put the last names in there? You're like, I don't know our neighbor's last name.
Yeah, I didn't have a need for it. Like if it's a business relationship, I put
at work we know everybody's full name, right? But in real life, not really.
I know Kevin, and then it's kind of like I was telling you. If you hear horses, if you hear hooves, and you live in the United States, you assume horses, not zebras.
Yeah.
So I talk to Kevin, our cousin, a lot more. So when I see a Kevin pop up, I'm like, yeah, that's Kevin.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Anyways, so I also went to Disney again in the middle of the week with my sister. Possibly our last time at Disney together because her past expires next
Don't
month.
make it sound fatalistic, like ever again.
No, I mean like her pass. That's why I'm like following it up with an explanation. Her pass expires November 10th, but I don't think I have a chance to go with her again. She might go by herself a couple times before it expires. But she says she's gonna just not renew and then maybe wait till in 2 or 3 years when the new Avengers ride comes, and then maybe she'll go again. But yeah, so we had a good day. We did the nighttime thing because she hasn't been to Disney at night, like, and seeing all the lights and stuff. So we did the nighttime thing. So we didn't really get there till like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, but it was pretty packed, and I think people were saying it's a fall break now.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, how many breaks are you going to get? There's fall break, then winter break, and then, what is it, ski week, and then spring break, and then summer. Like, when I went to school, I had to go to school every day. But anyways.
Yeah.
So it was pretty packed. We went on a few things. She did want to go on Rise of Resistance before her pass expired, so she paid for the Lightning Lane thing. And we did that. She's like, oh, that was worth it. If this was the only ride I rode today, I'm good. But yeah. And then we did see like something funny. So, at Disney, at DCA, on when you pass the Little Mermaid, and then there's a churro cart because she wanted that peanut candy churro. That was really good. And if you go to the right, it's through the Grizzly River Run. So nobody goes through that area, especially at night because it's like cold. So there's this couple. I can tell the couple like picked a secluded area so they can stand there and argue. We just walk by an arguing couple. And we just like walk really fast. It's like, oh, let's give them their privacy. Walk really fast. It was like, whoa, they're just standing there going at it with each other.
And that's one of the things, again, and this is not like an HR hack or anything, but this is kind of just a people hack. It's like Disney, if you have any issues in your marriage or relationship or
comes
family,
out at Disney.
Disney will bring it out. Because it's for the average person who goes to Disney, it's not like the average person is not a Magic Key holder or an annual pass holder in Florida. There are people who plan it, they go there, and they're trying to get bang for their buck. They're trying to get all these things in. They have this image of all the things they want to do, and then maybe a ride's broken down, and then especially if they have kids. I'm assuming they probably had kids. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe not. But it's stressful.
Yeah.
It can be stressful if you're not, and that's kind of what sometimes when and I vocalize this to you. It's like sometimes you have a to-do list, and I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do all that. Like, I'll say that before we even leave.
Yeah.
And then if we're going to argue about it, let's argue about it then.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the expectations not to match the actual experience.
Yeah.
You know how you always talk about, Instagram reality versus Instagram versus reality? Yeah, I don't want that to be an actual life thing,
Yeah.
So,
well, I think we've gone to Disney enough where we know that the Instagram is not what the reality is. So the expectations for me and for us, at least, is like, okay, I know it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
So we already have that. But for people who are just see the Instagram, they don't know that the expectation is way different. So they get there and they don't get to do what they want to do, or it's not what they expected, and so they get grumpy and then they yell at each other.
Yeah, it's like the example I always bring up when we were leaving that one time and that one dad was about to fight the taxi cab driver. And it's like, I get it, because you've gone through all day, and as a parent, or a husband or just a wife or anybody, it's going to push you to your limits. Like all your patience, like, because in normal life, you're already most people are stressed. Whether it's from work, whether it's just family stuff, whether it's a combination of everything. Disney's going to put that to an 11 because it forces you to we got to get here. And then everybody has a to-do list. And the more people you add to that, the more must-dos there are.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's these impromptu must-dos. You got a 5-year-old, they get hungry. Mm-hmm. They might get hungry at the most inopportune time.
Or they'll see a toy or a snack that they point at and they want at that time that you didn't plan.
Yeah.
You know, I want that popcorn or something.
And not just that, it's things that like, and this is something that like irritates men. So I try to counsel men. I'm like, you have to understand that your timeline, because there's some get, and I will say this to women too, but it's usually men who I see dealing with this, or maybe it's just because I'm a man. Your logistics mean nothing to the bladder of women and children. So if you are in line for Rise of the Resistance, you think it's a once in a lifetime thing, and your kid or your wife has to go pee. You got to let people start walking by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just stand in line and you wait. And then you let, and it's like, to somebody who planned all day to get on this thing, that will drive them nuts.
Yeah.
But you can't be that OCD, especially like if you're that like office manager type who's just, you know, just a red or a D on the DISC assessment, who's just kind of, I get things done. And it's like, and you have this schedule and you have everything planned out. That doesn't apply at Disney.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to be able to just kind of, you got to be a surfer. You got to be Bodie in Point Break. Like, dude, like, go with the flow.
Yeah,
man.
go with the flow.
You know?
That's the other thing I noticed is, okay, so I think we were on the Pinocchio line, and we were in line, and then there's a couple behind us. In front of us was just a woman and her kid, one kid. And then, you know, you have the dad and three other kids going in, excuse me, and trying to join her.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, maybe those three little boys had to
Yeah.
pee or whatever. But then we were, my sister and I, oh, that's cool, whatever. You know, we let him in. But then the guy behind us started being like, he's one of those like childless millennials that people complain about. He's like, what the heck? We're letting people cut in line now? And then his girlfriend was like, well, he's meeting with his family. He's like, yeah, but like the ratio should be 1-to-1, not 1-to-5 or something. And he was really loud, and me were just like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Like it reminded us of one of her friends, and she was telling me in Vietnamese, you know, he's like blah blah blah, and I was like, oh yeah, and you know, we started speaking Vietnamese. That's the benefit of language. And I was like, dude, shut up, you know. But then it happened to us on Winnie the Pooh, where the ratio was 1-to-6.
Yeah.
Because so me and my sister didn't know. We just thought the one lady with her kid in her hand. I mean, she was holding a kid, so he was like he couldn't walk. So we thought it was just her and her baby going on. So she went in front of us, and we were like, okay, cool. But then later on, like 6 people came in. Excuse me, and we're like, if you're just with your baby, why can't you just wait for your family? It's like me and my sister. That's like, what, 5 seconds? Wow, you get to get on the ride 5 seconds before us. Like, you get your own car anyways, right? Because you're a family of 8.
Yeah.
But so we were like, okay, maybe that dude was onto something. You know,
to me, it's
that
like
was annoying. It was
I think on both sides, people should just not be annoyed.
I know.
Because here's the thing: it's like to somebody who's not a Disney goer.
Yeah.
Like you see, like when the rope drops, how everyone runs. It's triggering like the lizard brain in people.
Yeah.
So if you go to Disney and you have a pass, I think it's incumbent upon you to understand that the average guest, the average visitor, is not going to have that realization that you do, that there's not real scarcity. It's not like, oh my God, you know, if we need to run, you know. So I think like with you and your sister, even if it was like 10-to-1, like, okay, the shame is on them, not really you.
Yeah,
right?
We were more like, okay, we let them in, but we were more like.
Now, my advice to somebody who is going to go to Disney, and it's like this really doesn't apply to any of our listeners because they go more frequently than most people. But if they have a friend or anybody, like you might want to pass this on to them, like. It's okay to wait for your party. Like you're not getting a huge advantage.
Exactly.
By saving a place in line. It's not concert seats.
Especially if it's just 2 people.
Well, it doesn't matter how many people. It's like if the ride is the ride. It's like if you have to wait 45 minutes and you have to wait an extra 10 minutes for someone to use the bathroom or 15 minutes, it's still going to probably be a 45-minute wait. The wait time's typically not going to jump an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a ride. It's not like it's like I could understand if it was that scarcity mentality, like if you're trying to get like an exclusive popcorn bucket and they might sell
or
out.
if you're at a D23 convention.
Yeah,
something like
if
that.
you're trying to get an item
Yeah.
that's limited in quantity, okay, maybe that's a little different.
Yeah.
But to go on a ride, that ride, unless it breaks down, it's going to continue to go.
It's Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, especially if it's Winnie the Pooh. It's
You
like
and your
it's usually
baby
never only
saved the
10
space
minutes.
for 6 adults. I'm like, dude, what? But
You know.
yeah, we're like, okay, whatever, just look. But
It's not whatever because it's like to me it's ignorant. It's just the ignorance of that.
Yeah.
But if they knew about that beforehand, it's almost like you need like
it's
a
like cutting people off in traffic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get to your destination any earlier by cutting me off. Like maybe 5 seconds earlier.
I
You know what I
think-
mean?
But to me, I always assume positive intent, and this is what I'm always trying to teach in HR. So maybe this is an HR moment. It's like I try to remember anything that annoys me. Have I ever done it? And the question is yes, typically. If I'm 50,
I can tell you I've never done it because
I've seen
it doesn't
things-
make any practical sense.
You've never cut someone off in traffic
No.
ever.
Why?
You've never been honked at in traffic in 45 years.
I honk, okay.
In 45 years of driving, you've never said, "Oops, my bad."
No, because
Never.
the one time is I was merging on and the lane was ending and I had to merge.
No, I'm not talking about an example. No, I'm
That
talking to
was the
say
time.
yes or no. Have you ever made a mistake driving?
I never cut somebody off.
Okay, no. Have you ever made a mistake to where somebody could be annoyed at you, but it's an accident? It's,
Yeah, it's an accident. I didn't do it on purpose.
right. But that's my point. I always assume positive
Well, I
intent.
know the lady who walked up there in front of us knew
Yeah, but
that her
she-
family was behind her.
If she thought she was going to get in a fight over that, do you think she would have done that? No. She probably just thought this is okay.
I'm just gonna get in line first. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I need to go and poo now
Yeah.
and save the spot.
Yeah. I mean,
That doesn't make any sense.
if I had, my point is that in your life, you've probably annoyed thousands of people, whether you know it or not. And
And when she saw her, because sometimes like
And
I
here's
go,
the thing. You don't know what the family dynamic is like. I know that there's situations, even in our family, where people have been told, hey, you need to do something for us. And it's like, okay, even though you don't want to do it, and the rest of the world might look at you like, what are you doing? I don't know if her husband said, hey, go wait in line for us. And he's a dominant person and she's just doing it because that's their dynamic. You know what I mean? Who knows? It doesn't hurt anybody. No one died.
Yeah.
So I always try to give people
But if
the
I
benefit
saw
of the doubt.
if like that, sometimes I get in line in front of you because I do the max pass thing, that lightning lane thing.
Yeah.
And I get in front of you, and then somebody gets behind us.
Mm-hmm.
But then I know, oh, it's just me. So I just go back and join you
Right.
while I let the family of 5 or 4 go in front of me. When she looked back and saw just me and my
Mm-hmm.
sister in between her family, she could have just been, oh,
Yeah.
let me just go back there.
I guess what I'm saying
Instead
in
of
life
just
is
being
it
like,
balances
let my
out.
family through.
Maybe she works at the DMV and maybe that's where she's like, oh, because I work at the DMV, I understand people are waiting and she helps somebody there. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You have to look at human beings as flawed. And
Yes,
you're flawed.
She's flawed.
You're flawed.
She's flawed. So that's
She
why
won't admit
I
that
was
she's flawed.
She is flawed. So that's why I was like, fine, let your flaw family come through. Even her family, one out of those 6 people could have been like, hey, man, come back here with us.
Yeah, maybe. But
Let those
her
2
mentality.
Asian girls go first.
It's
Because we're
funny.
going to speak Vietnamese about you.
So I'm going to point out the stuff when you annoy other people. And just to point it out. So it's an educational experience. You're like, I don't care.
No, because I know it's annoying, so now I'm mindful of that and I don't do that.
I know. You're actually
Because
pretty.
like that, remember that one time where people got in front of me with the lightning lane? Because the lightning lane thing is more. I don't know why they're organized about everything else except for those times when they're not, which is the lightning lane scanning.
Right.
They have 4 locations to scan, and they don't tell
Usually.
you. And they don't tell you, hey, you can come here and scan. And then I'm in line, and someone behind me just goes up in front of me and starts scanning. Right.
Right.
And I was like, hello. But I just let them do it. It's like, whatever, go ahead. Go in front of me. You saved 5 seconds. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I
but then sometimes I secretly hope that's the car that, like, blows up or something. Not blows up, but, like,
Wow.
goes on fire. It's like, that's what you get. You went ahead of me. That's the car you got. You know, like, not blows up. No, on fire. Smoke comes out. Nothing like that.
Yeah. Well, you know. Your anger management stuff is probably coming soon. So we get to that point in therapy.
It's like, you could have just tapped me on the shoulder and be like, hey, that one's open, instead of cutting in front of me.
One of
That's okay.
the things I've learned is that the people who get really annoyed with people are people who feel that they've been pushed around a lot.
Yeah.
And so
I got bullied a lot.
yeah. And so that's part of their and so that's why I would have empathy for you. It's like, oh, you know,
But I
You-
won't
you-
say anything because
right.
then they're going to, like, beat me up or something. You know, it's like, I'm like, all right, just go in front of me.
but that's a horrible
But
feeling to
secretly
have.
just hoping,
yeah.
you know, their car would break down.
Yeah. See, but, you know,
I know.
And then you have a heart attack at 60, and it's like, why? I'm in good shape. I've been keeping all this
Because the
rage in
people
front of
at
me.
Disney kept cutting in front of me.
Yeah. We all have issues. I have issues. We went to the drugstore the other day, and I'm just like, I hate it waiting. Like, I hate, because I'm a big guy, and I just hate, like, people
Waiting around.
And I hate, just in a
You
group
don't
of people.
mind waiting at Disney.
Yeah, well, because everybody's waiting. You know.
Yeah, but I hate those parts in Disney that's like, there's no line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Haunted Mansion, where you go in the elevator. Oh, no, Haunted Mansion before the elevator, where there's the place
We
where
could
the
go to
line merges.
yeah.
And people at not people at Disney, people who stand in line at Disney do not know how to merge.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to be first.
Right.
So I'm just like being, non-aggressive, like let everybody go first. If they want to fight. Watch, that elevator's going to break down on them anyways. So then, and then after the elevator, right, when you go into the hall and everyone's just fighting to get to the, like merging after the elevator, those are the parts at Disney I don't like. Because if I'm in line first, I go first, but they just merge. It's like, everyone for themselves. And then it's kind of, I hate that part.
Yeah.
The parts
you
of
hit
Disney that-
chaos.
Yeah.
You want a specific.
I'm in
thing.
line. Why are you cutting in front of me? But it's a merge thing. Like, I hate merging in traffic because nobody will let me in. Then I'll start honking at them. It's like, what? It's my lane is ending. What do you want me to do? Crash into the tree?
A lot of anger. A lot of anger in you. And then when I call you Anakin, people are like, "Why? Tracy's so nice."
Yeah,
She's
see,
a
I'm
dark
so
side.
nice. I get pushed around.
That's what happens. Most of the people I know who have dark thoughts when like in just their daily lives are people who are so like almost. There's a thing called toxic positivity, where you're so nice, but you feel like you're being taken advantage of. You're
Yeah,
taken advantage
I
of,
think
and
that's
if that happens over and over again, it builds up anger, and then eventually you lash out.
That's why I
And
relate
it's like
to
it's
Anakin.
usually
That's why I relate to Anakin.
Yep, Anakin.
Just don't push me to the dark side, people. Just wait in line for your turn.
Oh man, that's so funny. But I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate. They get annoyed stuff where it's there.
I just let people go. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to save like a few seconds. It's fine. Just go. If that's
Yeah.
so important for you to get in front of me, go ahead. Your car's going to catch on fire anyways.
That's on fire. Yeah. So, what's next?
Oh, okay. So on to big Disney news is the Walt Disney Company's 100-year anniversary. And it's going to kick off at Disneyland on January 27th. So just like all other celebrations, they're going to have like a platinum infused like decoration of the castle and throughout the whole park. Mm-hmm. So a new sparkling platinum look for Mickey and Minnie and their pals. So you know how like
Oh, it's kind of like that.
when it was the 60th, they had all the
No, that
outfits.
one jersey that I got the key embroidered on.
Yes, that's
What was it called? Iridescent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was like part of the Disney World 50th, kind of, those colors.
Yeah.
But this was like the 60th when Disneyland turned 60, how they had everything was decked out in blue and Mickey and Minnie wore blue outfits. Well, this is going to be platinum since it's 100. And then they're going to have special food and beverage offerings and merchandise, of course. So, yeah, Sleeping Beauty Castle will be dressed in style for the anniversary. World of Color 1 will begin showing. And then also the Wondrous Journeys nighttime show will begin at Disneyland, which is a new fireworks show.
Yeah.
And then the Magic Happens parade will return. And then here's a surprise. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will open January 27th as well.
That's the biggest news.
Yeah, because originally it was not supposed to open until spring. So now they're going to open it the same time as this celebration.
So hopefully there's not a lot of breakdowns because that's one of those. It's a trackless ride.
Yeah, it's like Rise of the Resistance or something.
Kinda. But there's part where it like leans over. There's a lot of mechanics involved.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything is, I'm not saying
But
that it wouldn't be.
Toontown won't be open. The new Toontown won't. So it's just that area.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe Roger Rabbit will be open. Maybe not because it's the same area close to it.
Yeah.
But
They'll probably just
Toontown
have a
won't open.
lane. I think that's the thing that they were building by It's a Small World,
Yeah.
kind of going up. You're just
Yeah.
going to get in on a lane. It's going to go to that one ride, and it's going to come back out.
Yeah. So there's some theories on why they did that because in order for park capacity to be at a high number, there has to be a number of attractions open. So they want to close Splash Mountain early to start doing the retheming.
Yeah.
But if they have Splash Mountain down and no new ride, that kind of just like the park capacity thing. That's just a theory.
Well, it could also go into what we're going to talk about next.
Oh yeah. So then this weird. So before this announcement, we already knew that there's this weird thing where single day ticket holders can't make reservations after January 8th because single day ticket holders can make reservation 120 days in advance. Magic Key holders is just 90. So we're like, oh, that's weird. So then here in the announcement of the Disney 100, they did call it out. And they said that as you begin to plan your trip to visit Disneyland for the Disney 100 anniversary, please know that theme park reservation availability for Disneyland and DCA is currently paused for dates beyond January 8th, 23, and will resume for guests in the coming weeks. So they're calling it out that, oh yeah, you can't make reservations beyond January 8th, but don't worry, in the coming weeks you'll see something to go for the January 27th celebration. So we're like, that's weird. Why did they pause?
So it's going to be strange. Well, there's a couple of levels to this because one, I think we can make Magic Key holders, like January 8th is coming up just for Magic Key holders.
Yeah, we'll see if we can see anything
And
beyond.
if we can't make reservations, that's another lawsuit.
Well, maybe that's why they're saying they're going to fix it before.
But I'm
Not
saying
fix
whatever
it, but-
I'm saying whatever they have it in store. Typically, there's a plan. There's always a plan. The question is, can you get that plan in place timely
Yeah,
with the schedule that you have done, right?
right.
And if they can't, are they going to stop Magic Key holders from then scheduling beyond January 8th?
I think it will be back up before,
Well,
by the 90-day whatever for Magic
This is
Key
what they
holders.
say about Putin and nuclear weapons. I was listening to
I think
the
it
Secretary
will
of
be
Defense.
okay.
It's kind of like, and I was listening to him. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of different scenarios, but hope isn't a plan.
Yeah. No,
So-
it's not hope. It's like the
It's-
way they're working. I think that's why they're They're not scrambling, but I think their schedule is to make it available for Magic Key holders by that
That's
deadline.
that's what I'm saying. It could be a situation because of the legal quagmire that they're already in, to where it gets flipped to where Magic Key holders are actually able to make reservations and single day ticket holders aren't. Because if they can't hit whatever date for whatever plan they have, they're going to still have to allow Magic Keyhole. And that date's coming up like within this week, I think. Because I think we could already make...
Is it? I don't know.
Well...
When's 90 days?
I know we already have... I know that I was already to make reservations all the way to December 16th. Like, and that was like a week ago. Right?
Oh, yeah. November 8th is 60 days.
Yeah.
So it's got to be October 8th.
Or whatever. I don't know. But it's coming up.
Yeah.
And because I'm saying the dates in December are already... Well, first of all, we're going to be blocked for the last thing. And then I don't know when it opens up in January. But I think it's before the 8th.
Second.
Yeah. So yeah, that's coming up within a week, I think, or so. And then it's like, all right. Because you're going to have Magic Key holders who've been blocked for the holiday season and that are looking forward to start using that Magic Key again.
Especially looking forward to go the 27th.
Yeah.
Everything after the 8th is, you can't make anything right now for the people who can make it. They can't.
So we're going to see. Now, why would they do this? That's another level. Some people I won't name, but they think they're going to get rid of the reservation system. Like, that's not happening.
Talk about being too hopeful.
I mean, is there a possibility that they could get rid of the reservation system for, single day ticket holders or,
Yeah. Maybe.
I think they have too much control with it. And I think it would just add too much cost. Because you could control cost very effectively with a reservation system. I mean, a lot of people think it's just to control how many people can come into the park, but it's also to control how much you have to spend on any particular day.
Well, they can do it so that it's not really a reservation system, but it is where you buy tickets for a particular date. And if they know they sold tickets for January 8th, for example, that's the number of tickets they sold. And then based on that...
So you mean attach the date to the ticket?
Yeah, like a concert. Yeah.
Yeah, that...
Instead of buying a ticket, doing two different things right now, buying a ticket and then making a reservation.
It's one thing.
Just I'm buying a ticket for January 8th.
So it's kind of a pseudo reservation system.
Yeah.
And it would...
Like a comedy show.
And it would guarantee less cancellations. Because if you bought a ticket for that date...
Yeah.
It's probably a process
you can modify, but maybe like 5 days
But
in
it would
advance.
probably be like a hassle to do.
Right.
So if you bought a ticket to that day, you're probably moving heaven and earth
like
to go on that day.
airplane tickets, like that.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you do that?
That would be interesting. I didn't even think of that, Tracy. Smart.
See, and I don't even have a Six Sigma or whatever, black belt, whatever.
I don't need none of that.
It's common sense.
Fancy
Just
learning.
kidding.
No, I think it would be there'd be some hurdles to that, but that'd be interesting to see because they're saying that they can't keep up with demand. That would be one way to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're going to buy a ticket, we got to make sure. So it's not like because if you know you have the ability to cancel with just a click on the app or to click, whatever, it makes it a lot easier. It's kind of the same reason that I didn't let people RSVP for our wedding via the website. Because it's too easy to just be like, nah, I'm not going to go. If you make people actually take the effort of sending something through snail mail, they're probably going to show up.
Yeah, and plus, whatever day you go for Disney, the ticket price is different. So why not just be like, hey, if you're buying a ticket... I think it's kind of like that right now, but I'm not sure. I don't know. But even for the multi-day ticket, it's all the same price if you get a 2-day pass or a 3-day pass, but force people to buy a ticket for that date.
That'd be interesting. But they need to come up with that plan soon because you don't want to start going backwards in demand. Yeah. No, change to the reservation system.
I don't know. Or it could be something as simple as...
That makes Magic Keys way more valuable. Because
I think it is now because I think somebody had said that the number of renewals was not 100%, of course.
Right.
We know
and if they don't sell anymore...
Yeah, so it's just like...
That would be like having literally...
There's just a few of us who are...
You'd be a grandfather, and that's something that everybody who has it... You might want to tell your sister to renew. If you never get one ever again.
Care.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people like, I don't care. And it's like,
She'll just do. She says if Avengers
That's true
open,
because she only needs to go like once or twice a year.
yeah.
anyway.
So she's like, I'll just do a 2-day ticket or whatever when Avengers Campus. I mean, that new ride opens in 3 years. She's saying, well, maybe it's like 3 years. I'll be 33. I'll be old. I might not need it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but everyone's just guessing. But it could be something as simple as they're fixing it so that it's attached to the app, so that you can make reservations in the app now without going to the website.
Yeah.
it's
Occam's
something
razor.
as
For
similar-
Occam's razor, that would be the obvious thing.
Yeah,
That's
something
like,
as simple as that. Because during the closure, we just guessed this and that, and all these like theories, but it ended up being something as simple, as that. So.
yeah, I would love them to attach it to a ticket. Because to me, that would be like, it makes the Magic Keys way more valuable, especially if they're not selling any more Magic Keys. Because now it's like, well, we can still make reservations and cancel and do all that stuff. And it makes us actually more, it adds flexibility that single day ticket holders don't have.
Yeah.
So,
You know how I know there's not that many Magic Keys right now is when I looked at dining reservations, the Magic Key Lounge is wide open. So I'm like, oh, so that's one way I could non-scientific way that I can tell. But somebody
it
did
almost
say,
seems passive aggressive. It almost seems like, oh, you guys are going to like complain and not renew your stuff. Fine. The people who did, we're going to give them all this.
well, yeah,
they're going to
because
get all
now
this stuff.
there's less of us now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
it's almost like, because now they've come out with other stuff for Magic Keys too. Like they have.
just the photo thing, which
Yeah.
no line. My sister and I just walked in and we're like, hey, can we get a photo? And that was it.
Yeah.
During Oogie Boogie Bash, there was kind of a line, but that was too early. That was September.
Yeah.
So right now, though, like with my non-scientific,
This
thing?
anecdotal.
you like Magic Key Lounge. If you want to go, you can make a reservation and go.
Yeah.
It's open.
It's going to be interesting. And then especially if they really don't sell anymore, it's going to be like, because you just imagine it can only go down. It can't go up.
Right.
So there's going to be less people renewing, and some people just aren't. And some people who aren't renewing, it's not just because of they're mad at Disney. It's just because like inflation or like someone like, got laid off in the family.
Rising costs, layoffs.
So like if we were, it's like think of it like this: if we were the only two Magic Key holders left. Look at all the flexibility we would have. It's
I mean,
crazy.
obviously we're not, but
No, but I mean, the less of you there are,
yeah,
the more.
we're more exclusive.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, they'll start selling it. When did they stop? Whenever they stop selling the
June.
Dream Key. Oh, that's not till June? So they'll probably open it up again because the longer it is, the more it's dropping off, right? There's still some Magic Key holders
People have renewed all the way up.
until February.
Well, let's see.
People
The
bought.
Dream Key was the first,
Right.
and
It
so
stopped selling. Wasn't it January?
it might have been January, February,
Yeah.
and then the Believe was after that, and then everything.
Yeah.
So I think June was everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be slim. Right now, there's still a lot of us because some people's passes haven't, Magic Keys haven't expired.
I think that
yet.
non-renewal rate
Mm-hmm.
is going to start to slow, though. People are going to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to open this back up.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
We better find that money.
Exactly. They're going to sell it again. I mean,
No, I don't know if they're going to sell it again. There's really, honestly, no reason for them to sell it.
yeah.
It's kind of like I can see why they can keep renewals, but I don't. We'll see. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in headlines?
That is it.
Okay.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
Okay. Well, I figured we finish all the Halloween treats this month. So we had I posted the Halloween Mickey donuts. One of them was a Mickey Mummy. That was the donut bar.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just a round Mickey pumpkin.
Yeah.
And it was orange. The other one's a mummy, so it's white. But the only place, not the only place, but right now, if you want donuts, you can only get it at the GCH
Grill.
Craftsman Grill. And get that there. But they're not as good as when Disney used to have the donut cart. I mean, there's a hashtag going around with maybe 500 followers called Bring Back the Donut Cart, which they used to have the donut cart at the circle in front of the castle, and it was like really good donuts.
We used to go there straight after rope drop.
Yeah, it was like soft, fluffy donuts. Because the one at GCH is...
They're like normal donuts. It's like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, it's like... What do you call it?
It's like a regular donut.
Yeah, it's too dense. The other ones are puffy, and they have like Dole Whip flavor sometimes, and maple bacon, and all these like cool flavors.
It's like the kind of donuts you would get at like Voodoo Donuts or something, one of these artisanal donut places.
Artisanal.
As opposed to, so, and the best one I think they ever had was the Fruity Pebble one.
Yeah, the Fruity Pebble donut.
That was my favorite.
So here the donuts are pretty at GCH, but they're just blah.
Yeah, well, they're regular donuts. It's nothing. It's not even really worth a taste talk.
I know,
other than the fact that they were decorated.
Pretty. Yeah.
They're decorative. They're cool. A 6-year-old won't know the difference.
And I went to get them by myself because we had stayed at Paradise Pier that weekend. And when we got up before checkout, I just walked over to, because we didn't have a reservation, but I walked over to Grand California, and I just went in there and got those 2 donuts.
Yeah, it's...
Sometimes Schmoozies will have specialty donuts that are
That was the first mummy thing I ever got was there.
Yeah.
I think it was a different...
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But that was almost like a full dessert pastry.
Yeah. It was huge and fluffy and stuff. So it's a cronut. It was a cronut.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But that was something you needed to share with another person because it was super filling.
Especially for breakfast because they stopped selling it at like 10 a.m. or something. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you can skip them, basically. If you
don't have to eat them unless you want it for the gram, for the pictures.
Yeah. But bring back the donut cart.
Yeah.
That's really the point of this segment. All right.
Okay. This is kind of like well, maybe. Remember when we talked about a long time ago during this bill that Disney got in trouble for PR nightmare, and then they donated to the Human Rights Campaign, and then the Human Rights Campaign declined it? Well, they previously rejected it. Now the Human Rights Campaign is like, I guess we'll take it. So they took the $5 million from Disney. They changed their mind, had a change of heart. And the spokesperson said that the organization will now accept it after months of discussion with Disney. So that's that.
After looking at their stat sheets, inflation went up and people stopped donating. It's
we'll take it now.
$5 million. Yeah. I mean, it's all political, performative stuff. At the end, and even if people who do good stuff, they're still part of that system. So, I mean, I don't blame them for taking it. I mean, if I was running an organization, it's kind of one of those things that's like, unless somebody's like a Nazi or something, if somebody offers you money and you're
Especially
running a 501c3, take it. If as long as they're not doing something to actively
because that's
go against the interest of your because when you're not taking that money, it's easy for me when you didn't take and I didn't really say this at the time, but this is kind of how I felt. It's like when you're running a charitable organization, an official one who gets like tax exempt status and all this stuff, you kind of have the same responsibilities as if you were on a corporate board. And the corporate board is there. You have to make money for your shareholders. And then if you're on a 501c3, your responsibility is to not necessarily make money, but to get as many services out, supporting your mission. Yeah. And $5 million goes a long way towards a lot of services. So if it was, and I'll just give an example, I'll take it, out of this particular issue, but like if you were a housing charity and, like Habitat for Humanity and somebody offers you $5 million and it's not a person that's like just out and out evil that's out to like you know kill homeless people or something. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, you may not like that person, but how many homes can $5 million create for you? And then if you have a wait list of people who are on Habitat for Humanity, you're telling those people that, hey, you're going to have to wait because we don't have enough funds.
Right.
How can you tell somebody you don't have enough funds when you're rejecting
just
money?
rejected, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the donors could get angry. The actual beneficiaries of the charity could get angry. And they would have a right to be, you know? And then it's like, I know it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
not only that they could get angry, but they can't receive the benefit.
Yeah.
Because you just turned it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you're building houses, you just turned down so many houses.
Yeah.
So unless it's like something to where it's just like unconscionable, like somebody giving that money that's just like, ugh, like a warlord or something, you know what I mean? Somebody's doing sex trafficking, a drug cartel, or you know, or a corporation that's actively against your interest to where, yeah, they might give you $5 million, but they're annually doing $30 million worth of damage to your constituents.
Yeah.
Take the money.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. But I'm not the head of that charity, so whatever. And they ended up taking it anyway.
Yeah. After discussions with Disney.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. The next news is Armor Wars, you know, with Don Cheadle, War Machine, changed it to a movie instead of a Disney Plus show. That's interesting. So originally, the Disney Plus show was supposed to be released in December of this year. So now we don't know when the movie's coming out.
Yeah, I put up a meme during Comic-Con where, you know, it's that meme of, what is it, 2.5 Men? What the one, you know, guys like, hey, are we forgetting something? And then Charlie Sheen is like, well, if you forgot something, it's probably not important. He's like, yeah, you're probably right. And then shows Armor Wars. Because out of all the stuff that came out of Comic-Con and D23, for that matter, there's no mention of Armor.
They didn't say anything about Armor Wars.
No, there was nothing.
Well, how did we know it was supposed to be a show in December?
Because that got announced way before.
Oh.
You know, it was, you know, and so back when they announced the last D23 2021 is when they announced all that.
And then there was some Disney thing, some shareholder meeting or something where they announced everything in 2021 or something.
Yeah. So it was multiple times, and it was just kind of like, well, what is going on with that? And it's and in the Marvel comics, it was a pretty significant story. Now Tony Stark was at the center of it. Tony Stark in MCU is dead, so I don't know, you know, what they're going to do. It does bring up speculation as, are they going to bring him back, or is it something that relates to the bigger story?
Yeah.
Because to make a motion picture is a big deal because it's taking up a major time slot on their calendar. It's not something that you can just idly do.
Have War Machine in it. He's not that big in the MC. Well,
unless it's like a Civil War type thing to where there's a lot of cameos too, you can do it. So I don't know. I
wonder if they're gonna do like Thunderbolts against Avengers or something.
That'd be cool. That'd make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and I think maybe the thinking is maybe we could rearrange it to where the tie-in, it makes the tie-ins more thick, right? To where we could use this to actually fit in with like the New World Order and all the other stuff. So, yeah. Hopefully, you know, obviously it's not an easy decision, so a lot of thought probably went into that. So I say good, you know, if it was going to be like a meh Disney Plus show, but they could turn it into a really significant movie, go for it.
Yeah. And also a new trailer for Wakanda Forever was released on October 3rd, and that's also when tickets started going on sale. Of course, we got ours.
Yep, first day.
First day when it went on sale, I was waking up and my eyes were still blurry. I was like, oh, I gotta get these tickets. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the movie. I'm not looking forward to the social media commentary on it because I never read those anymore
well, not even the social media. I'm just YouTube everything.
Yeah,
you know, it's just kind of like, I think it's not going to live up to the. People are going to expect something that's going to be so grand, and and they're going to want to have certain emotions towards it, and I don't think, and then you're gonna have. It's just, I don't know. It just becomes like a thing other than just a movie, and I think when you go to a movie, it's great when that happens. Right, when you go to a movie and it's just greater than you expect, and it's historical piece, but expecting something to be historic is folly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So just go there, expect a good Marvel movie, and if it turns out to be more than that, great. If it turns out just to be a good Marvel movie, great.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
That's how YouTubers make their. Get their views.
I get kind of that's the kind of thing, and I mean, you talk about what annoys you. That's kind of what annoys me, and it doesn't affect me, right?
Right.
But people who are constantly and then that we're fans of, and I think that's what annoys me more, because we're fans of them, and they're constantly complaining about like somebody who complains about She-Hulk, but they're covering it every episode because that's their living.
Yeah,
it's like I like Kevin Smith's thing, and I think I might have mentioned this the last episode where. Just don't talk about it if you don't like it. But they're still making money off something that they're constantly saying they hate.
Yes.
So it's like, I need content, but I hate this thing. So I'm watching it every week.
Back in the day, there was just Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
Ebert. Mm-hmm. And they were critics.
Film critics.
Film critics. So I guess that's like the new generation of film critics.
But the difference, I would say, is that they went to see a movie and they criticized it, and that was it. It's not a series.
Oh,
to where I don't like this series.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to watch all 9 episodes
and
tell you how horrible this is.
Yeah.
And it's not just Marvel stuff. I mean, they're doing it with Rings of Power, on Amazon. It's like, I'm going to tell you, I read the original Tolkien, and I've seen Peter Jackson's films, and this is not a great adaptation of that, but I'm going to watch all 9 episodes, and in each week, I'm going to because...
For 9 weeks.
And it's like, yeah, you hate it, but it's also paying your mortgage. So it's like, what is, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you don't hate it that much.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do content on it every week,
Yeah.
So that's what I don't know. If there was something I really didn't enjoy, I wouldn't talk about it.
I wouldn't even watch it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want to attach myself to an industry that's constantly disappointing me to a point to where I'm whining on YouTube. But that's how I feed my kid.
Yeah.
Because it was weird, because one of them, again, I'm not trying to put it out. It's like, just had a baby, right? And I'm just like, a lot of these guys are fathers. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like looking at them, it's like, I cannot imagine, like, and again, this is me being the boomer, right? Like waking up and seeing my mom or dad and they're like upset. and it's like, Mom, what's wrong? Mom, what's wrong? And they're just like, we just saw Dune, and it's just not like the books. and she's upset all week. Like, we had bills. Like, we had real problems. Just imagine if that's your parent. Like, they're upset about, you know what I mean? It's just a weird dynamic that I don't really relate to.
It's a new career.
It's a new career.
That none of us relate to, but...
Like, remember, we watched the one guy, I don't want to give the name, and he's like, the fandom is just so toxic, I just can't anymore.
Fandom is toxic?
Yeah, because it's a Star Wars fan that we was talking about. Like, there's so many people who hate it, and there's so many people who love it. It's just like, and I'm getting so many comments. It's just, I just can't. I need a break, and I'm just like, dang, it's not that serious. It's not that serious, dude. Try working in an Amazon warehouse. You want to talk? Then I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, they need to be careful. Because a popular, nothing to do with Disney or anything, but a YouTube star or whatever, recently just got semi-canceled for complaining about how hard it is to be an influencer and a content creator.
Yeah.
And people are like, try getting a 9-to-5 job. You think this is... And what she was saying, and then she deleted the video, was like, you guys who have a set 9 to 5 schedule, you don't understand. We have filming, but then there's a lot of hours put into editing and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It is hard, whatever. So it
is hard.
So so then they kind of got canceled because they're kind of putting down the 9 to 5 people. You know what I mean? And then they deleted the video.
It's one of those things. It's kind of like when we were talking about the mom who got canceled at Disneyland for complaining about.
Oh yeah.
It's like when you go into entertainment, your job is to make the 9 to 5ers happy. That's where your money comes from.
Right.
You have to understand business from a sense of this is your revenue source. And it's not that your job doesn't take skill, and it's not that your job doesn't take effort, right? And editing's hard. Like, one of the reasons we haven't got on YouTube is because like you said, editing sucks.
Yeah, I hate it.
It freaking sucks.
I can't just post whatever. I have to edit everything.
I almost was like, when we all we did today before this podcast was post the our giveaway thing, and Tracy was like, I need your hand to open the Loungefly wallet so they could see inside. And I was just like chilling on the couch. I'm like, okay. And she's like, no, now. And I get it up there, and it's got to be at a certain angle, and I'm opening it. And you ended up not using it. And that was for just like a giveaway post.
That's why
right?
I don't want to. I don't like.
So
yeah.
So I'm not saying it's not hard, especially if you're doing like long form content, like half an hour or more. Yeah, it's hard, but you have to understand that your job ultimately, if I say, what do you do? Your job is to make people who come home from work, who are out there in those Amazon warehouses and who are putting, who are out there being underpaid and then still trying to feed their kids, make their lives interesting and happy. Not add some magic to their life.
Yeah, it's your entertainment for them.
Your entertainment.
Yeah.
You are in the entertainment field.
Yeah.
I don't see Tom Cruise complaining. I'm sure but the not the last one, but the Mission Impossible before that one when he broke his leg jumping.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise ain't complaining. Well, he was making $20 million a movie, but I'm sure it hurt.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when he made Top Gun, he was so detailed and anal about getting all these things right. I guarantee you, I cannot do what he does. I guarantee you, it takes effort, it takes skill, and it takes years and years of being in that industry to get that right. He had a lot of control over that. But he understands that I'm not going to complain about this job because I understand what average people go through. And when you become an influencer or a content creator, you kind of have to understand that. You kind of have to have that empathy.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to become a 9 to 5er than it is to go into that.
Yeah.
The fact that you can make a living, even if it's not a big living, if you can make $100,000 a year doing YouTube, you're lucky. That's a lucky thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean, when I say luck, it doesn't mean that I'm discounting your skill.
Right.
I'm sure you probably are better than other people because of your skill. It doesn't mean that you're not spending hours, at midnight doing stuff, Totally respect that. But you also have to respect your audience.
Yeah.
And your audience ain't going to take too kindly to you whining.
It's like, I paid for this. Just kidding. Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
And the reason why you always said, the reason why we're not entrepreneurs or content creators.
Well, we are entrepreneurs, but for this podcast, we're not.
For me, I'm just lazy. Just 9 to 5, tell me what to do, give me a paycheck. I don't want to be creative. I'm just lazy. You know what I mean? I don't want that to be my living job.
The reason why you can complain about the stuff that you complain about on this podcast and you could sound like an angry person, because it doesn't bring us any money.
Yes.
If we only had, again, if Dover Float's the only listener, we're cool. I don't pay for my mortgage with it. Matter of fact, we're in the red on the podcast. We give away stuff to people.
Yeah,
and
we're just doing it for fun as a hobby. But
as soon as it became a job,
if I was told this is my job, I'm like, oh no way. I quit
because it's not even about the hard work. It's just because you work hard at your job that you do.
Yeah.
But it's because now you have different expectations, right? So somebody if someone wants to cancel us, it's like, well, what are you going to, if somebody said rope dropping knowledge is toxic and problematic, I don't lose my house.
Right. I
don't lose my car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The stuff that we complain about and whatever, it's not complaining about how hard it is to do this podcast.
Right.
It's stuff that happened at Disneyland.
How to avoid getting annoyed at Disneyland.
It's not like, this Roadcaster, I just wish they had the, software update in time.
Yeah, we don't take it too seriously. We just do something big. We do it because it's fun.
And matter of fact, we actually get more emotional about it because of our listeners. We actually recognize a revenue that's a non-revenue. We don't get any money from our listeners, but our listeners are so cool.
Yeah.
That they just them themselves makes it worth doing.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds us. We forgot to say that we gave away our in-park wallet giveaway.
Oh, that's true.
To Ashley and
Sophia,
her daughter. They found us. Seems to be like people find us when we're with our cousins. But anyways,
no, that's weird.
They found us in front of the Lincoln Center and got the wallet.
No, they're connected. North Colorado.
But they said it was fun. It's like having a scavenger hunt, and just getting the wallet was a bonus.
And that's kind of what I want it to be.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like burdensome. I kind of want it to be like an extra thing you can do at Disney.
Yes, because people pay for scavenger hunts. We were supposed to go with our cousin to a scavenger hunt, and we decided to go to Disney instead.
Well, we already
had made reservations and all that stuff, so we're like, oh, sorry. But yeah, people pay for scavenger hunts. This is like, she said it was fun because you could do a scavenger hunt at Disney, and getting the prize was just the bonus. So that was cool. Anyways, I digress. But anyways, I think that's enough for that rant about YouTubers. And along the same lines of Marvel stuff, this is kind of Marvel related, where the actor who played Eli Bradley in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is the grandson of Elijah. No, the old man.
Isaiah. Yeah.
Isaiah, the old Cap, old man.
The first super soldier.
The first super soldier in Falcon and Winter Soldier, his grandson is Eli Bradley. Well, the actor, it came out that when there was that one fight going on at Disney World, brawl at Disney World, I forgot which brawl. It was like a year ago or whatever.
No, like 6 months ago.
Really?
It wasn't that long ago.
Oh. But anyways, found out that actor was involved in that.
He's one of the family members.
Yeah, because his...
I don't know. We don't know if he's involved. If you just know...
He's one of the... Yeah, he was there, though. Yeah. He was there. Because he used his real name when in the police report, but somehow some reporter just snuck around and investigated and found out that it was the actor who played Eli Bradley. He has a picture of him, and his real name is different from his stage name. So they only knew, they only knew him as his stage name. I was like, wait, are you, So, anyways, hopefully he won't get canceled, because it's kind of sad. Like, you made it to the MCU, Yeah,
it's one of those things where, like, and it was probably that thing, again, when I talk about family dynamics, like, I have empathy. It's like, oh, you're a big Marvel star now. None of us got to go to Disney. You get to go Disney anytime you want. So now he's like, I got to bring the family. And there's probably somebody in his family with a short temper. And then there's probably getting annoyed like Tracy. And then boom. Because it was, you know what? And here's the thing. That brawl started about cutting in line.
Really?
Yes.
Most brawls start without cutting in line.
So this is what I'm saying.
This is why,
this is why I tell everyone,
if you're going to have a line everywhere.
Assume positive intent. That could have solved this. Now you might take away a Marvel superhero.
Yeah.
I don't know who threw the first punch. I don't know what happened. I do know somebody cut in line, and there was some trash talking in line, and then one party waited for the other parties to finish the ride outside of the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was ugly. So, it goes back to the beginning of this podcast. But, yeah.
It's a magical place.
It's supposed to be magical.
Just be careful.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're defending yourself from harm, you shouldn't fight, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should be all happy people at Disney.
Well, you don't have to be happy. Being happy is not
Go ahead.
It should be.
You know?
It should be. But even if you get mad, you shouldn't fight.
Yeah, anywhere, but especially at Disneyland.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
All right, on to better news is the Disneyland guided tours are back.
yeah.
And I didn't know this was so reasonably priced. So the two tours are Walt's Main Street Story, which is kind of like it used to be called Walk in Walt's Footsteps or something. And it's basically a 90-minute tour of his apartment, Walt's apartment, which is above the fire station. And then you get to learn history, like they'll tell you about his town, Marceline, Missouri. So you visit his apartment at the above the fire station, and then you get to enjoy refreshments in the patio. Get food. And then 90-minute tour, and it's only $160 per person. That's cheaper than Oogie Boogie Bash.
No.
And the other tour is
It's more historical, but Oogie Boogie Bash still.
yeah, you get to do more.
Yeah.
The other tour is Holiday Time at Disneyland Resort, and this one is more like the history of. Let me see. Well, this one's like only available through the holiday, but it's an hour and 30 minutes. No, this one's a 2.5 hour walking tour. And it's just history of Disneyland holiday traditions from around the world. But you get to enjoy reserved viewing at the Christmas Fantasy Parade, as well as ride It's a Small World Holiday. And then you get a dessert party.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
don't know if we'll ever try it, but
Yeah. Maybe.
oh, yeah. I want to do the Walt's apartment one.
Yeah.
I want to see.
I think once in a lifetime type of thing.
Yeah.
Like you got to do it once. You know, if you're an avid Disney goer, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it, but I mean, it'd be cool to do it. I should say. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Well, we'll be back on Thursday, and yeah, we're not going to be going to the parks for a while.
Yes.
I think we'll probably be going on the 28th of
Just
October.
for half the day.
Yeah, just to pop in, make sure that we don't go through full Disney withdrawals. And then after that would be the 12th. But we do have a new wallet giveaway. But, you know, since we're not going for a while, you know, we'll advertise it on the thing before we go.
Yeah, we'll announce
We
it
did
later.
do a poll about the Nuimo. And I think you could use a Nuimo backpack for a coin purse. You were saying it has to go with a Nuimo.
Well, I think enough people collect Nuimos now where they would want it, but they could use it as a coin purse.
So it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be our next giveaway, but I have more than one. So
Our next in-park, you mean? Or
an in-park giveaway.
Yeah.
In-park giveaway. Yeah, I wouldn't give it away unless I had an actual Nuimo for the monthly one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's still something cool that if you found us at a park, it would be cool if you got it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, put those collectible coins in, you know, the flattened pennies.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be great for that, you know. Yeah, we will see. I think it's definitely a good one. So small, not hard to carry around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, we will see you Thursday. Don't forget our giveaway for October. And I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.